Hello and welcome to another edition of An English Guy Watching Wrestling. I'm an English Guy. I'm Nick. Thank you so much for clicking on another video. I do appreciate it. And this one we're going to be covering the 9th of July, my apologies, 9th of July 2021 edition of Ring of Honor TV. Now, I'm going to say this sounds weird because I'm recording this TV episode. That was the latest TV episode before the pay-per-view this past Sunday, which I have reviewed and is on my channel. But they released this after the pay-per-view, so it's kind of bizarre to be covering this. But regardless, I'm going to cover it. So if it seems a bit weird when you look at the description and the title, the date is not deceiving. It's absolutely true. So that is exactly why it's like this. So I kind of apologise, but it's kind of not my fault. I mean, I could have waited until the pay-per-view was done, say before this episode came out, then do this one and then the pay-per-view. But I thought, no, I want to do the pay-per-view because I really enjoyed the pay-per-view. It was very, very good. So I'm going to go back in time before the pay-per-view to review it today. So with that being said, let's try to get into it. The opening matchup was between the Briscoe brothers versus Joe Keys and Dante Calabro, who are both Ring of Honor dojo shoots. Now, since the last episode of television, the farm fight between Mark and Jay Briscoe, they've kind of got back on the same page to an extent because it's the Briscoes. They usually are on the same page, but sometimes they do have their spats against each other in Ring of Honor, and they have done since day one, and they've been in Ring of Honor since day one. So, kind of interesting to see them back on the same page, but they are going from the bottom of the Ring of Honor tag team title division rankings and trying to work their way up again. That's how they want to do it, and that's absolutely fine. And no better way to do it against Joe Keys and Dante, two very, very good wrestlers. But the Briscoes in this matchup showed why they are one of the very best tag teams in the last 10 to 15 years. They were superb in this matchup. They really were. And Joe Keys and Dante did put in a very good contest here, but this matchup was definitely the Briscoes being the Briscoes, if that makes any sense. And even though they did win the matchup, Keys and Calabro, they really did have a very good showing here. To be honest, they showed why they deserve to be the Ring of Honor dojo, and they gave the Briscoes a good matchup. But the Briscoes were the team to beat, if that makes any sense in this matchup, because just how good they were. This is what happens when the Briscoes are on the same page. They just really show what tag team wrestling can be, and they showed it in space here. They really did. This was a very, very good contest from these two, and just shows what they're about. So both teams put in a very good effort here. I can't fault that, to be completely honest with you. So it was good fun. So definitely a thumbs up to both teams for producing a very solid and good tag team match. The next matchup was Flip Gordon versus PJ Black. And this is what I like to call the current mecca of high-flying Ring of Honor, perhaps against the one that did it 10 to 15 years ago in PJ Black. And I won't lie to you, this was a very good past versus present in terms of flying matchup, but Flip Gordon doesn't fly as much as he used to because he's become the mercenary. He's changed his ways completely. He's no longer the Flip Gordon we all knew in terms of just being Flip Gordon, living up to his name. These days, no, he's much more grounded, much more submission-based, more hard-hitting based, more smash-mouth based. And this showed in this matchup, because this was actually a good matchup, to be fair. I thought PJ Black, the veteran he is by now, hasn't missed a step in all the years he's been going, and he's a tenured veteran in so many different countries. And he showed it very, very well here. But Flip Gordon showed why he's been a Ring of Honor mainstay and player for a long, long time, because he was superb in this matchup. He really was. And no matter if he's flying or if he's just doing what he's doing these days as the mercenary, he's shown it and doing a very, very good job. And I can't fault what either man did in this matchup. They both brought what they brought in terms of their strategy in this matchup, shall we say, to very, very good effect. And Flip Gordon did win the matchup. It's not to say that PJ Black did not give him a very good match here, because he did. And I enjoyed the exchanges between these two, the good counter wrestling, even a bit of high flying from both of them. Not as much as you'd probably expect, but I don't think that's what this matchup was about. In all seriousness, it was more to do with the past Mecca versus the current Mecca, but not quite the Mecca in terms of the high flying, if that makes any sense. But nothing wrong with that. This was a good, solid matchup, and I think Flip winning was the right call. So thumbs up to that for sure. So well done. And also, whilst I remember, Brian Johnson was on commentary, and he came to the ring after Flip Gordon won to look after PJ Black, and that's what kind of led to the tag team as they formed at the pay-per-view. So, as I said, I've already done that. I'm not going to go into too much of it because this is an episode that was before the pay-per-view, and I'm recording it after the pay-per-view one. So, as strange as it sounds, that's how it was. So, here you go. But thumbs up to both men for producing a solid, good matchup. Also, to the main event, it was a triple tag team match. It was Dragon Lee and Kenny King versus Jay Lethal and Jonathan Gresham versus Brody King and Tony Deppen. Now, of course, these three factions have been at war with each other for quite some time in Ring of Honor, and I have to give all the credit in the world to the thinking of Dragon Lee and Kenny King. Basically, they sat most of the matchup so the foundation and Violence and Ability could just go at each other until they decide. AFI decide to until Dragon Lee and Kenny King decides to sneak in and just pick up the win in very unusual but not uncharacteristic fashion. My fault. But this was a good six-way tag match. I will say six-way. You know what I mean. Best way to describe it. But no, this was a good matchup, and I thought that Lethal, Gresham, and King Deppen all clashed very, very well with each other. The work rate between all four of them was fantastic. With Dragon Lee and Kenny King kind of like egging them on, shall we say. And that was fun to watch, to be fair. So I did enjoy that. But overall, I did enjoy this main event. It was a very good combination of great wrestling from all six of them in terms of what they were trying to do in this matchup. And it clicked. No other way to say it. It clicked very, very well. I enjoyed it. And this topped off what was a very good episode of Ring of Honor television this week. And a very good main event, which did lead into the pay-per-view, but I'm not going to go over that again since I've already done it. But on that unusual but positive note, I'll end the review here. Thank you so much for watching. I will see everybody next time. But until that time, take care.